Government itself has not been transparent on this matter. You may recall that out of nowhere, we were told that there was an emergency cabinet meeting when the minority raised this issue. And then again, the finance minister came out with this announcement and reducing the farm gate price by 10 million cedis or 1,000 Ghana cedi. To us, that was most unfair because a very important decision such as reducing the producer price of cocoa that we all know affects the ordinary Ghanaian farmer, there should have been some stakeholder engagement. And you realize that soon thereafter, government tried to do some politics, claiming that it had directed the Attorney General to investigate some wrongdoing. I mean, I thought it was neither here nor there. I mean, it was quite unnecessary. The issue at stake was the cocoa price. And, you know, when we were in opposition, when we were in government, and we're having external pressure on the economy, and we said, look, Russia-Ukraine war was affecting our economy, they never took that for an answer. But today you are blaming it on the international market price. Be that as it may, my point is that government should have come out with the numbers. Okay, between now and the end of the season, this is how much it is going to cost government to intervene. Then we can all sit around the table and discuss.
Perhaps your thinking is that at a time when we have better reserves.
Of course, I mean, they claim that the reserves are good. That's what they claim. They say that they've made some macroeconomic gains. If that is the case, it's the reason why the state is there to intervene in such situations. And I see that as a major failure on the part of government by seeing this as an austerity measure to take to help the economy. I'm sure it's because the IMF officials were in town, and we know from our sources that they came under heavy IMF influence, and they were like, okay, you cannot. So go ahead and let this.
The president says that revising the cocoa producer price was a difficult decision to take, but I had to take them to ensure our collective well-being. He took us to what happened under the previous regime, which plunged us into a deep hole, and said we should learn our lessons.
Well, I disagree with him. He should have come out with the numbers. All right? I disagree with him. Since Gold Coast, we've never had a situation where a cocoa farmer would have to endure such hardship, where out of the blue, your farm gate price is reduced. It has never happened in our history. Again, it's the same government that says that we shouldn't blame international or external situations on how our economy functions. That is what they said in opposition. So they should also move away from that politics of convenience. You know, when you make a point and you justify it and you gain the trust of the people, you can't turn around and now say that, well, we have to tighten our belt and that fasten your seat belt and all. No, I won't accept that. Government should be transparent about the decision. And I think that there was no transparency in that decision. The cocoa farmer must not suffer for it.
Your sympathy
this thing cannot be negotiated.
Right. Your sympathy for the farmers and your opposition has been sustained for a period now. Now that you are hearing that even Ivory Coast has done the same and made its farmers worse, because Ghanaian cocoa farmers are even going to get what they are getting is about a double what the Ivory Coast cocoa farmer is going to get. Will your position change?
It won't. I'm not interested in Ivory Coast. This is not Ivory Coast. This is Ghana. So don't give me that room to compare. I'm dealing with an absolute situation. The Ghanaian farmer, the Ghanaian cocoa farmer, pay him what is due him. I'm not interested in Côte d'Ivoire. They have their own economic situation. And by the way, Côte d'Ivoire, they have a different system regulating their cocoa sector.
That's right.
So the situation cannot be the same. What it is that government must pay the cocoa farmers.
The president said that work is well advanced on on a legislation over this cocoa pricing situation. You think it's the best approach to take?
We were promised 3 weeks ago that there will be a legislation that will champion reforms in the cocoa sector. We welcome it. Let us see the document. Let us discuss it. But in the meantime, pay the Ghanaian cocoa farmer.
But in principle,
you cannot reduce the farm gate price when you've already committed to it and the farmer has gone to take a loan from the cocoa crache. The farmer's children are in school. They need money to pay hostel fees. They need money to pay school fees. They've taken money to, plow their farms. And out of nowhere, you say that you are reducing.
So now I seem to appreciate why you term this as illegal, because you just canvass the basis why you say this reduction is illegal. But in principle, do you support a legislation that brings a sort of a deregulation of the sector?
If that is a new thinking of government, it should be brought on board for us to discuss. I'm sure years back, we did that for the petroleum sector.
That's right.
Where we now, over time, legislated and said that, look, the market should regulate the petroleum sector. So that it's not the case that every now and then government would have to intervene. But even so, cocoa is a different scenario. You cannot strictly say that you would want the market to determine farm gate price. There must be some form of state intervention. You have to balance it. So I am waiting to see the bill. We have our economic committee, finance committee. We have our experts in the caucus. We will look at it. We have our external consultants, other stakeholders, on our side. We will look at it and present a view. But I would want to say that government should not attempt to wholly take away its intervention in the cocoa sector.
You said no stress-free level 100 fees.
They are paying.
No, they are not. They are no. I said no Ghanaian child.
It's the time of the payment you have an issue with. Let's be factual.
Lawyer Samson,
it's the time of the payment you have.
It is the promise that they didn't fulfill that I have an issue with. Listen, there are student loans in this country. Where Ghanaian students not applying for loans, where the loans not being paid after you've applied. I went to University of Ghana with a student loan. My mother will borrow money, go and pay. Once I'm in school, the loan will come. Then I'll take some to my mother. Then I'll use some for Shilling Pili. It was in existence already. That is what the government said it was going to fix.
Please, you have a minute.
So that is what the government said it was going to fix. By introducing another formula. He hasn't been able to do it. So what are you talking about? Then I speak of cocoa. Maybe I'll leave Ora for later. I speak of cocoa. Council. Eduji has no idea about the cocoa situation as we are discussing.
Really?
Yes.
And but he spoke to the facts of the cocoa
I'm begging
situation.
you just give me some 3-4 minutes. He has no idea. This whole cocoa conversation about NDC, MPP. Oh, even lawyer understands, don't worry. It's not about MPP, NDC.
He's talking about the time he's taking, yes, because he's doing more than the time. He prompted me and suspected that he will not get 15 minutes. He's now in his 16th minute.
So cancel. And it's a very serious matter. Listen, MPP hasn't come in yet. This whole conversation is NDC versus the farmers.
No, it's MPP that's promoting it.
No, please. You don't understand what is going on. Let me tell you, you don't know when we came in. We came in 4 months after the farmers have been fighting them. So please, don't mix the issues. These cocoa farmers have been starved. Nobody actually heard their voice. You're only hearing it because we amplified it. October, November. Are you aware that cocoa farmers did not celebrate Christmas 2025 in this country? Because this government didn't pay them. So don't make it. We haven't come in. We will come in later in October when the new season is starting. That's why we'll deal with it. The fact is that it is never true that there is any other reason for the current cocoa farmers haircut other than the poor trading decision. They speak of debts. Then they speak of sale of 90% of cocoa beans. Council, if you sell 90% of the cocoa beans, there is no way you will reduce cocoa farmers' prices. Because the forward sales means that you have sold the thing on paper and agreed on the price. So at any point in time that you get the beans, you only take it and take the money. So when you take the money, the price doesn't change. That is the truth. So if it is true that Cocoa Board had actually sold 92% of cocoa pods by forward sales as of January 2026, then the government should go and give the cocoa farmers their money to them.
As of January 2026.
If you have sold 92%, as he's saying, of the cocoa beans, then you would have sold it at the prevailing price at the time you were selling it. Indeed, as at October, when they stopped paying the cocoa farmers, cocoa price on the international market at that time was around $7,000. As at August 2025, when they announced the new cocoa price was around $7,200. The average for the year was around $7,000. Indeed, at some point in 2025, cocoa price went all the way to $13,000. So if you truly sold our cocoa forward sales up to about 90%, then you would not, because you see the price for the cocoa farmers are usually done on the average price that you had throughout the period of your sale. So it is never true. Number two.
I'm sorry.
Number two, Councillor, I beg you.
You have to end here.
I beg you. You see, you interrupted me.
You would not have allowed
on the 24-hour economy.
You would not have allowed anybody to do this.
You interrupted me.
And
number two. I beg you. I am pleading with you. I'm pleading with you. I'm pleading. Number two. Yeah. Number two. This whole Ivory Coast issue just came in 3 days ago because you saw Ivory Coast with it. Ivory Coast has not reduced prices mid-season like you are doing. That is fact. Ivorian authorities have not reduced cocoa prices mid-season. Indeed, the new price they have announced is for their new crop season. You have rather mid-season, when you have a guaranteed pricing arrangement with farmers in the Republic of Ghana, gone ahead to reduce cocoa prices in the middle of the season. And it is not true that all you have to buy is 50,000 tons. That's a lie. Indeed, what Cocoa Board took, which they kept in their warehouse waiting for a windfall, which has backfired because the prices have gone down, was 50,000 metric tons.
Okay, this
however, farmers have 70,000 metric tons in their custody, which you haven't bought.
Thank you.
Which